My name is Aileen Moreton-Robinson and I'm a Gurrumpul Jundal on my grandfather's side. In Stradbroke is where I grew up. I was raised by my grandparents out at Mupi, which is 1 mile. We're on the backtrack to Lake Burmeer. This is the women's lake on the island. And as a child, we would walk from 1 mile through the valleys. Right, so the track used to cut around the ridges and come out on this road here, and we would walk with my grandmother. And this place is fundamentally the women's lake where the jargon lives. You'll see down here where the lake used to be when I was a child and where it is now. It's pretty devastating, I guess, to see how far it's reduced. Basically, when I was a kid, the water was up here, right up here. And in that time, it's just gradually receded. And of course, in that time, you didn't have groups like this or kayaking or busloads of tourists here. This was very much seen as our place. The place that we are here is a women's lake. But it's not been an exclusive lake, you know, as long as you have permission from women or women bring you and proper singing out is done, then it's a place where you can come and be introduced to the country, and that way you're actually accorded the safety of the country. I used to come here as a little girl, me and my grandmother. We'd all have to sit down. She would throw the quartz stone and she would sing out and announce who we were and wait for a sign before we would move to come down to the lake. And then she would take us and we would stand all in the lake with her. And these places are all alive, you know, like as a child, my grandparents schooled in us that everything was alive and that we were watched all the time, and therefore we had to behave appropriately. So to grow up in a world in which you see everything as being alive and as a place and a right place to be here is different from seeing it as a place that, like this lake now, you know, it's for tourists. I often think about what my grandmother would think if she saw this now. There's two sovereignties that are prevailing, and that is the non-Indigenous tourists who are here to have pleasure in partaking of the swimming in this beautiful lake and learning a little bit about, you know, the trees and that grow around it, and in general just having a fun time. And that then gets contrasted with my belief system, that I come here and I see this place differently. What makes us different is about our beliefs and our relationship to land. And if we don't continue those traditions and we don't pass that on, then what is it that we become? Teaching our children in modernity what it is to be an Aboriginal in modernity is not about throwing away the very things that make you Indigenous, like the land which you're in and of, because this is our land. It always will be, and it always was.